Hello, I'm Leanne Ingram, Superintendent of Comanche ISD. The Comanche ISD Board of Trustees recently voted to include a bond election on the May 4, 2024 ballot. Registered voters that reside within the Comanche ISD school zone will be able to vote on the renovation and expansion of Comanche High School. The bond will include safety and security upgrades, renovation of existing structures, including cafeteria stage and career and technical classrooms, 24 new classrooms, which include science labs, special education classrooms, vocational classrooms, a library, and a band hall, and new mechanical systems, restrooms, furniture, and technology infrastructure. The bond will cost $31.7 million. After meeting with members of the community who voted no to the bond in November 2023, many people voiced that they supported renovating and expanding the high school. However, they were concerned about the interest associated with borrowing so much money over a 30-year time period. In short, they asked if the district would be willing to put down more money toward the construction cost in order to save the district interest payments. The 2024 plan includes the district taking $5 million from its fund balance or savings account to put down as a down payment on the renovations and expansion of CHS, so that the bond will total $31.7 million for the May 2024 election, instead of the original $36.7 million that was on the November 2023 ballot. This will save the district more than $16 million in interest payments, and it will reduce the number of years to pay back the bond debt from 30 years to 20 years. So, what is a school bond? A school bond is similar to a home mortgage in the sense that it allows a district to borrow money for large, expensive projects like renovating or building a new school and pay that back over time. The way a district funds a bond and its daily operating expenses come in the form of two tax rates. One of these tax rates is called the M&O, or Maintenance and Operating Tax Rate. The M&O tax rate is collected from property taxes and is used to fund the day-to-day operations of the school. Things such as teacher salaries, utilities, supplies are all purchased with M&O funds. If the school wants to build a facility or purchase land and it wants to pay back that large expense over time, then another tax rate called the interest and sinking rate, or an INS, is levied. The voters must approve a tax rate increase on the INS side. Once the debt is paid off from a bond election, the INS tax rate returns to zero, unless voters approve another bond election to fund debt for another facility project. Currently, Comanche ISD has an INS tax rate of 10 cents, which was levied to pay for the new elementary campus several years ago. One thing many taxpayers may not realize is that the M&O tax rate, which funds a school's daily operations, is mostly used for salaries. As a matter of fact, almost 80% of the money collected on the M&O side goes to pay the salaries of our staff. Another thing voters may not be aware of is that the M&O rate is largely set by the state of Texas and is subject to what is called compression. Compression is simply an intentional act to lower the M&O tax rate. As you can see from this chart, the M&O tax rates of Comanche ISD have been compressed from year to year. For example, in 2011, the M&O rate was $1.04. The current M&O rate has been compressed down to 75 cents. So while assessed or appraised values on property have been increasing, the tax rate has been decreasing, and this affects the amount of money CISD collects to run the school's daily operations. It also makes it difficult for a school district to save enough money to fund large projects, such as a $36 million renovation or expansion project at the high school. This chart is another depiction of tax rate changes at Comanche ISD over the past few years. So if the bond is passed, how much will the increase in INS taxes cost the average homeowner in CISD? If you are 65 years or older, your taxes on your homestead property are frozen, and therefore the bond will cost you or will not cost you any more money. There will be zero increase in your taxes on your homesteaded property. If you're not over the age of 65, this chart shows what the bond will cost taxpayers on their homestead property. In 2023, voters approved a $100,000 homestead exemption. So if you see your homestead is valued at less than $100,000, the bond will cost you nothing. The average home value in Comanche ISD is approximately $89,000. If your home is valued at more than $100,000, this chart can help you determine how much your taxes will increase if the bond passes. We also have a calculator where you can enter your assessed home value to determine exactly how much the bond will cost you on your homesteaded property. For example, a home assessed at $200,000 would pay approximately $22.50 per month if the bond were to pass, or about $5.63 per week. If you would like to learn more about the bond and use the bond calculator, please visit ComancheISDBond.com. That is ComancheISDBond.com. Thank you for tuning in.